Hello friends, good morning. We are going to discuss about Ansible today. So first let's see what is Ansible. So Ansible is a configuration, means it is example of CI/CD tool. So hope everybody means who who googled what is DevOps, or who tried to work as DevOps engineer, so they know that what is CI/CD means. Okay, so the Ansible is perfect example for CI/CD tool. Okay, so the CI/CD means continuous integration and continuous deployment tool. Okay, so which means continuous integration in the sense we are doing some application configuration changes, or if you want to do some configuration changes on the existing OS, that is also meant to by the continuous integration. Okay, continuous deployment in the sense, so deploying the infrastructure. Okay, fine. So let's see what is Ansible now. So this, as I said, the CI/CD means Ansible is perfect for CI/CD example. Okay, so we'll use for configuration automation and deployment, and for example, continuous integration in the sense, if we are doing any means let's say some application is hosted on a server. Okay, so we need to do some changes, or we need to do some application upgrade on the existing one. So that is also we will do it through the Ansible, as well as on the existing server. If you are doing any update on the packages, or if you are doing any configuration changes in the OS configuration, so that is also we will say continuous integration. Okay, so deployment in the sense just deploying one means creating one EC2 instance, or creating one VMware, or installing server on premises means physical server. So that is the deployment. Okay, fine. In Ansible we have two types of node. One will be called as control node, another will be called as managed nodes. The control node in the sense nothing but it's a Ansible server where we installed the Ansible. Okay, where we are going to create Ansible playbook and going to run from the server. Okay, the managed nodes will be the agent one, means client machine, remote machines. On remote machine only we are going to do some activity using the Ansible server. So using the control node we are going to do some activity on the managed nodes. Okay, so now hope you understand what is control node, what is managed node. Fine. So Ansible will work on will work based on the push mechanism. Okay, it's not going to pull anything from the remote machine. It's going to push something, or it's going to execute some commands on the remote machine. It will do the activity. Okay, it is not going to take from the remote machine. Okay, fine. So another important thing is the Ansible server will be created in the Linux machines only, Linux or Unix. The Windows machines are not supported for the Ansible server. Same like Ansible, we have other CI/CD tools also. which is called Chef, Puppet, Salt, okay, Terraform, these things. So the Chef Puppet will work based on the pull mechanism. Salt will use both the mechanism, push and pull. Okay. So I set another tool called Terraform. So it is also a best tool on the deploying the or creating the new infrastructure. Okay. So let us discuss about the difference between Ansible and Terraform. When I am using the Terraform to create new machine, also let's say why we are nowadays maximum using Ansible instead of Terraform so Terraform will be used in the cloud. Okay, Ansible will be used to create or add something in the cloud or on premises or VM machines. So that's why now Ansible is playing major role instead of Terraform. But comparing to Ansible, in Terraform we have something some major different. Okay, so why? Because the Terraform will use state file. So state file means, let's say in Ansible we are creating some playbook, so in Terraform also we are writing some code to create some server. Okay, so to create a server in real time, we have multiple dependencies. So one is host name and IP to be registered. Okay, host name and IP to be registered in the consent tool which we are using in our environment. So next thing, we should create the VM or cloud or something. So creating machine, let's take as VM. Okay, create VM machine. With I'm not going to use another one. So with customized OS, so we will use in real time customized OS only. Okay, fine. So we are creating one machine. So after that, what we are doing here, we are adding in the, if I am using some service now, so there I need to add in the CMDB, which is database of my all the resources, means all the server or switch or firewall, whatever it may be available in my infra. Those information and configuration details will be available in my service now. So let's say I am using the service now. Okay, service now CMDB addition, which means I am adding the server information in the service now CMDB. Okay, so then this is also fine. If you want, you can add again monitoring, means adding the server in monitoring. Let's create one more. Adding server in monitoring tool. Okay, so monitoring tool, I am adding it. So this is how it will come one by one in real time if you want to create a machine using any automation. So the automation should come across all these steps. So the automation tool should be integrated with all these tools. This is, I am using some to register my host name and IP. I am using some tool, and to create VM machine, mostly I will use we may use VMware only. Fine. So VMware, then ServiceNow ticketing tool should be added, then adding the monitoring tool, means adding the server into the monitoring tool. These many steps should be covered, and these many tools should be integrated with my automation tool. Okay. So when I am using the Ansible, what it will happen, it will run create one by one. So if something due to credential error if it is getting error on the service now, okay, it is getting failed, okay, then remaining also it will work. So we will use ignore errors tag in Ansible. Fine. So I am doing changes in my code to rectify this issue. I'm just changing the, let's say the credential has been wrongly mentioned in the vault. Okay, so here I'm just changing it. After that again I'm running it. What will happen, then Ansible will run from the beginning, but since the host name and IP everything has been created already, means it will create again the new host name only. It will create again the new host name, the IP, like that. Okay, so for example I am giving the host name, let's say I'm just removing this. Okay, I already host name and IP address has been I already given. Okay, so based on that it will work. It is not going to create the host name or register the IP. Okay, based on the host name and IP, whatever I am giving, based on that it will create the VM and it will add in the CMDB, then it will add in the monitoring tool. Okay, let's take it like that. So I'm again doing, running it. What it will happen, it will check whether this VM is created or not. So once this is created, it will then skip, but anyhow it will check, actually the Ansible will check. So but the same scenario when I am using the Terraform, it will use the state files. So what will happen, the state files will have the information where this code is failed. Okay, so when I am running the code again in Terraform code, so what will happen, it will not start from this beginning. Okay, so simply it has the information already. Okay, so it will start again from this ServiceNow, means adding the server in the CMDB of ServiceNow. From here it will start again. Okay, do you understand what is the difference between the Ansible and Terraform? So this is the major difference between the Ansible and Terraform. Okay, fine. So now let's talk about means we are not going to discuss more about the Terraform because this is going to be an Ansible class. Let's discuss on the Ansible. Okay, so we are going to install the Ansible now. We are going to install the Ansible. So for that, the prerequisite will be in control node we need Ansible as well as Python. Why? Because the Ansible is developed using the Python, and in manage node also, in remote machines also I need Python. Why? Because I am going to run some job using the Ansible on the remote machine. So on that time it will use the Ansible code only, right? So the managed nodes, which means the remote machine, also should have the Python. Then only it will understand the Ansible code. Okay, it will understand the Ansible code, it will run. Okay, fine. So nowadays the Python is automatically installed when we are using the cloud machine. So if you are installing the Python also, it will install automatically the new version of Python. So that is common for all the packages. Okay, so now we are going to create 3 servers in AWS. Okay, so hope you guys know how to create the AWS account, free account. which is where we will have some free tier resources for testing purpose. So we will use that for our class. So let me log in. Okay, so here what I am doing, I'm just creating 3 machines. Okay, so for that I am going into EC2. So EC2 is the compute engineering. So in AWS we have 6 engineering: compute engineering, database engineering, network engineering, something like that. Okay, so we'll discuss about that when we get into the AWS classes. Fine. So now I'm going to create some instance for Ansible. So I already have one Ansible server, but no problem, I am creating a new one. Fine. So simply I am giving here Ansible. Okay, here I am giving number of instance, how many I want, 3 instance I want. Then the OS I am selecting RedHat. The RedHat 9 SSD volume type will be the free tier eligible, so I am using that. The architecture 64-bit and T2 micro will be the free tier eligible. Remaining all are pay on request. Okay, I need to pay when I am using the, based on the how many hours I am using it, based on that I need to pay. So I already created one key pair here. Okay, so but anyhow I am just telling one more time here how to create the new key pair. So click on this, create new key pair. I'm just giving ANSI. Okay, I'm going to use this RSA encryption method. Okay, these all are the different algorithms. This is RSA and ED25519. These all are the algorithms. We have more algorithms to encrypt my password. So I am downloading my PEM key. Okay, I am downloading my PEM key. If you want to connect PPK directly, you can use means directly also you can use, but sometimes I need this PEM key. That's why I am creating the PEM key. So after that I will convert it as a PPK. So I am just downloading it. Okay, I downloaded. So fine. So I am using that ANSI. Then here I'm just creating all the network. If I am using the default one, this will enable only SSH. Okay, this will enable only SSH, but since we are doing the testing, I need to use, means I am going to use all the ports. So for that I am going to create the new security group. Just edit the network settings. Here I am giving simply all TCP. Okay, so then you can see by default it is allowing only SSH from anywhere. Okay, so but what I am going to do, I am going to use all TCP. It should allow all the ports from anywhere to this servers. Okay, then storage will be 30 GB free, so I am going to use till 20 GB. This is fine. Okay, so these all are my some default OS configuration, machine configurations and OS configuration. And finally I am going to add one more thing, advanced details. I am just clicking on advanced details. You can see here, just go down, means end of the page, you can see user data optional. So here whatever the commands you are giving, that commands will be executed in those machines. Okay, so I am going to install the Python in all the machine. Why? Because I need the Python in my managed node as well as control node. Okay, in both the machine I need Python to be installed. Okay, so for that I am just creating simple script to install the Python. Okay, so now I'm just giving launch instance. Right, let me check in the instances. So I have three Ansible, okay, three Ansible machines. So I'm going to change this one as old. Okay, so I'm not going to use this now. I'm going to use these three machines. So let it create complete. So here it should 2 by 2 check should be passed here in status check. Okay, then only the considered this server is fully created. I'm just refreshing it. I'm filtering based on the running. Okay, so only it will show running services. So still it is in initializing status. So let it complete. So yeah, before completing this, we should know how this Ansible server will communicate with the node machine, remote machines. So simple, it is using the SSH only. So using the SSH only, it will connect with the remote machines. Okay, so we should configure the SSH also. We should configure the SSH also, but in the Amazon AWS means cloud machines, it is very easy to configure the SSH. Why? Because already we are using the key pair only. Okay, already we are using the key pair only to connect the servers. So which means already we are using the SSH configuration only. Okay, so simply what I am going to do is I am going to enable the connection between my one server to another server. So that is also very simple. Let me show you how it will be. Okay, so let's check the status now. Yes, it is ready now. So I am just making one server as master. Okay, this is master. These all are my Ansible nodes. Node 1, node 2, and node 1. Okay, fine. So since I have mentioned the script in user data to install Python, it is installed in all the machines. So you can see, you can check it now. I am connecting one server using the public IP. Changing the appearance and connection. This is for timeout seconds. If I am idle more than 350 seconds, then only it will disconnect. Okay, so now I need to give the private key. So what I need to do here is I downloaded the PIM key only, right? I downloaded the PIM key only. Now I need to convert as PPK, then only I can use in the putty to connect the server. So for that I am using the putty gen tool. So I am going to load this. All files. Okay, save private key, same name I am using, .ppk, save. Okay, just close it. So the ppk is created here, right? So what I am going to do here is, now I am selecting here the ANSI ppk. I am going to show you first, or going to install the Ansible, right? Fine. So just using Python version. So you can see 3.9.18 installed. So same like that I am using another server also. Here also the Python is installed. Fine. So this is how it will work. Fine. So now if you want to install the Ansible, you can use pip package management. Actually pip is a package management from the Python. Okay, if you are using yum install Ansible, so we should enable the repository, and also I am using the normal user, but even I am using the sudo, it is not, the Ansible package is not available in the repository which is connected with this server. Okay, definitely it will not be available. So I need to enable the repository for yum. So but if you are using the pip, you no need to enable it, but there is a difference between using the pip as well as using the yum. So whenever using the yum, so you no need to, means we have some default configuration file. So if you are installing some packages, those packages will have definitely some default configuration files, right? So same like that, the Ansible also will have the default configuration file. So these two files will be, when I am using the pip, it will not create. I need to manually download this. Okay, I need to manually create this file. We have command as well as we can download from the internet, this ansible.cfg file. This host file we can create using simple VA editor. Okay, VAR, nano or cat, something. So this is the difference. When you are using the pip, it will not create the configurations, but when you are using the yum to install the Ansible, it will install this, it will create this configuration files also. But in our case I am going to use pip only. Why? Because I need to show you how to download or how to create the configuration file if you want. Okay, so I am going to use pip install Ansible. So you can see here warning, the script Ansible config, Ansible connection, Ansible console, Ansible doc, Galaxy are installed in user local bin, which is not on path. Consider adding this directory to path, or if you prefer to suppress this warning, use no warn script, something it is showing. So which means it is creating under user local bin this configuration file, everything. Let's check. Okay, so the Ansible is successfully installed. Okay, so Ansible code. So let me check in this directory, going into this directory, clearing the screen, ls. Okay, nice. So these all are the commands actually. Okay, these all are the commands, so not the configuration files. These things only created, that's it. But when I am checking in the etc Ansible, you can see even the Ansible folder also not created. I am just trying to grab Ansible folder also not created in here. Okay, why? Because we have used pip to install the Ansible, that's why. Fine. Okay, so we'll continue in the next session. Okay, fine, we'll create the file first, configuration file first, then we will continue next topics in the next sessions. So create Ansible dot, just Google it, create Ansible.cfg in Linux. So you can get this Ansible documentation URL, docs.ansible.com. From here you can get the command. Actually this is the configuration file. Okay, this is the configuration file. You can see the default configuration where it is located under etc Ansible, but under etc we don't have anything called Ansible directory, so that is also not created, right? Okay, so let us create the Ansible CFG file. So to create that, this is the command Ansible -config init -disabled. Then I'm just redirecting this command output to this file, which means this will create this file with this command output. Okay, this disable means it will disable all the lines, command all the lines. So what I need to do is, here I need to create Ansible directory. So permission denied, I am using sudo mkdir Ansible. Okay, so I am going into directory. Here I don't have anything, I am using the command. So this disabled will disable all the lines, means comments all the lines. So this is also permission denied, so I am using sudo. So I am switching as root, then I am going to create it. It is not allowing me to create. Okay, so I am in etc. Just copying, enter, that's it. So now the file is created. You can see all the lines are commented. Okay, fine. So now I need to create the inventory file which is under etc Ansible. Okay, host it will be available. So but right now I don't have any file, only I have configuration file only. Okay, so I'm just creating simply one empty file. Later on I will add the remote server informations. Okay, this is my, so you may, I just use the default name, but you may use some other name also. Okay, fine. So this is how we need to create it. Fine, remaining topics will discuss on the next sessions. Thank you guys.